Emma is a talented graphic designer living in a small apartment on the third floor of an old building in Boston. She leads a relatively quiet life, spending most of her time in front of her computer screen, creating creative designs for international clients. But lately, she has felt an invisible unease surrounding her. At first, it was just small things. The balcony door sometimes left slightly open, even though Emma was sure she had locked it. Objects in her apartment seemed to move inexplicably, and sometimes she had the eerie feeling of being watched through the window. But these signs became increasingly apparent. One night, while working late, Emma heard footsteps in the hallway of the building. She paused and listened, but the sound disappeared. Maybe I'm imagining things, she tried to reassure herself, but the unsettling feeling didn't go away. One evening, returning from the grocery store, Emma noticed that her apartment door was slightly ajar. Her heart pounded. She was certain she had locked it. Cautiously, she pushed the door open, clutching her keys tightly in her hand as if they were a primitive weapon. But inside, everything seemed untouched. No signs of a break-in, nothing was missing. The next day, Emma decided to change the lock. But even that didn't make her feel secure. A few days later, waking up in the middle of the night to get a drink, she saw the shadow of a man moving past her balcony window. Panic seized her. She rushed outside to check, but the balcony was empty. The street below was silent and deserted, illuminated only by the yellow glow of the streetlights. Things escalated when she started finding mysterious letters in her mailbox. There was no return address, only old yellowed papers with shaky handwriting. "You are not alone." Or, "Remember what was forgotten." Emma couldn't make sense of it, but the feeling of being watched intensified. One night, Emma was abruptly awakened by noises outside her bedroom. Slow, heavy breathing. She held her breath, her heart hammering in her chest. Someone was standing right outside her bedroom door. Panic flooded her. With trembling hands, she grabbed her phone and called the police. When the police arrived, the apartment was silent. They searched everything but found no one. There were no signs of forced entry. However, Mr. Dawson, her elderly neighbor from the ground floor, confirmed that he had seen a man lurking around Emma's apartment in recent nights. He looked strange, just standing there and staring up at your apartment. "I wanted to call the police, but then he disappeared." His words only deepened Emma's fear. Who was this man watching her? And why was he leaving her messages instead of speaking to her directly? One fateful evening, as Emma tried to flee from her fear, she stumbled on the stairs and fell. Darkness consumed her. When she woke up, she was staring at the white ceiling of a hospital room. A sharp pain shot through her head. The doctor explained that she had suffered a mild concussion but was lucky it wasn't worse. But what truly shocked her was the presence of a strange man in her hospital room. He was older than she expected, with graying hair and sorrowful eyes. He looked at her hesitantly, concerned. "Emma," he began cautiously. "Don't you recognize me? I'm your father." Emma froze. She had never known her father. Her mother had always told her that he had abandoned them. "That can't be true," she said, her voice unsteady. "My mother never told me about you." The man sighed. "Your mother. It's a truth from you. She didn't want you to know about me. But I never left. I've been searching for you for years." Emma felt her head spinning. This man, was he really her father? The mysterious letters, the strange occurrences, had all of this just been his way of trying to contact her? Why hadn't he simply knocked on her door? Why had he scared her instead? After being discharged from the hospital, Emma met with the man in a small cafe nearby. They talked, and he told her about a past she had never known. He had once loved her mother deeply, but for unknown reasons, they had to separate. When he learned that her mother had passed away, he tried to find a way to reach Emma. But out of fear of rejection, he had only dared to watch from afar. A storm of emotions raged within Emma. She had spent weeks in fear, panicking, and feeling hunted. And now it turned out that the stranger she had feared so much was her own father, a person with whom she shared blood. She faced a difficult decision. Should she open herself to him and build a relationship? Or should she continue her independent life and leave everything behind? After days of reflection, Emma decided to give it a chance. She couldn't immediately accept him as her father, but she was willing to listen. She realized that one cannot escape the past, one must confront it to move forward. Emma's life would never be the same, but perhaps that was exactly what she needed. The fear of an invisible shadow was gone. Instead, she began a new journey, one in which she would not only get to know her father but also discover more about herself.